Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today, from the H. Palmer translation, the chapter of the poets. In the name of the merciful and compassionate Allah, T-S-M. Ba, Sin, Mim. Those are the signs of the perspicuous book. Haply thou art vexing thyself to death, that they will not be believers. If we please thee, we will send down upon them from the heaven a sign, and their necks shall be humbled thereto. But there comes not to them any recent reminder from the merciful one, that they do not turn away from. They have called liar, but there shall come to them a message of that at which they mocked. Have they not looked to the earth, how we cause to grow therein of every noble kind? Verily, and that is a sign, but most of them will never be believers. But verily thy Lord, he is the mighty and merciful. And when thy Lord called Moses, saying, Come to the unjust people, to the people of Pharaoh, will they not fear? Said he, My Lord, verily I fear that they will call me liar, and my breast is straitened, and my tongue is not fluent. Send then unto Aaron, for they have a crime against me, and I fear that they may kill me. Said he, Not so, but go with our signs. Verily we are with you listening. And go to Pharaoh and say, Verily we are the apostles of the Lord of the worlds. Send with us the children of Israel. And he said, Did we not bring thee up amongst us as a child, and thou didst dwell amongst us for years of thy life, and thou didst do thy deed which thou hast done, and thou art of the ungrateful? Said he, I didn't commit this, and I was of those who erred. And I fled from you when I feared you, and my Lord granted me judgment, and made me one of his messengers. And this is the favor thou hast obliged me with, that thou hast enslaved the children of Israel. Said Pharaoh, Who is the Lord of the world? Said he, The Lord of the heavens and the earth, and what is between the two, if ye are much sure. Said he to those about him, Do ye not listen? Said he, Your Lord and the Lord of your fathers of yore. Said he, Verily your apostle who is sent to you is surely mad. Yet if he was an official soothsayer, then that'd be okay. That's always how they play. Said he, The Lord of the east and of the west, and of what is between the two, if ye had but sense. Said he, If thou dost take a god besides me, I will surely make thee one of the imprisoned. Said he, What if I come to thee with something obvious? Said he, Bring it if thou art of those who tell the truth. And he threw down his rod, and behold, it was an obvious serpent. And he plucked out his hand, and behold, it was white to the spectators. Obviously, this was a dark-skinned person. He said to the chiefs around him, Verily, this is a knowing sorcerer. If he desires to turn you out of your land, what is it that ye bid? They said, Give him and his brother some hope, and send into the cities to collect and bring to thee every knowing sorcerer. Evil magician. There's implication in the English word sorcerer of those who mix magic and drugs, but that's not necessarily what's being implied in the sihr. And the sorcerers assembled at the appointed time on a stated day, and it was said to the people, Are ye assembled? Haply we may follow the sorcerers if we gain the upper hand. And when the sorcerers came, they said to Pharaoh, Shall we verily have a hire if we gain the upper hand? Said he, Yes, and verily ye shall then be of those who are nigh. And Moses said to them, Throw down what ye have to throw down. And they threw down their ropes and their rods, and said, By Pharaoh's might, verily we it is who shall gain the upper hand. And Moses threw down his rod, and lo, it swallowed up what they falsely devised. And the sorcerers threw themselves down adoring, and they, We believe in the Lord of the worlds, the Lord of Moses and Aaron. Said he, Do ye believe in him, ere I give you leave? Verily, this is your chief who has taught you sorcery, but soon ye shall know I will surely cut off your hands and your feet from opposite sides, and I will crucify you altogether. And that is a form of execution or even punishment, survivable forms, is something that goes into prehistory. It wasn't just the Romans. I don't know where people get that idea. They said, No harm, verily unto our Lord do we return. Verily we hope that our Lord will forgive us our sins, for we are the first of believers, and we inspired Moses' journey by night. With my servants, verily ye are pursued, and Pharaoh sent into the cities to collect. Verily these are a small company, and verily they are enraged with us. But we are a multitude weary, turn them out of the gardens and springs and treasuries. And a noble station. Thus, and we made the children of Israel to inherit them, and they followed them at dawn. And when the two hosts saw each other, Moses his companion said, Verily we are overtaken. Said he, Not so, verily with me is my Lord, he will guide me. So obviously it wasn't Ramses the Great, because they lost territory. The Egyptians lost territory afterwards. But House of Ammon, again, not Ramses the Great. You'll find that out later. And they followed them at dawn. And when the two hosts saw each other, Moses' companion said, Verily we are overtaken. Said he, Not so. Verily with me is my Lord, he will guide me. And we inspired Moses, Strike with thy rod the sea, and it was cleft asunder, and each part was like a mighty mountain. And then we brought the others, and we saved Moses and those with him altogether. Then we drowned the others, and that is a sign, but most of them will never be believers. And verily thy Lord, he is mighty, merciful. And recite to them the story of Abraham, when he said to his father and his people, What do ye serve? They said, We serve idols, and we are still devoted to them. He said, Can they hear you when ye call or profit you our harm? And they said, No, but we found our fathers doing thus. He said, Have ye considered what ye have been serving ye and your fathers before you? Verily they are foes to me, save only the Lord of the worlds, who created me and guides me, and who gives me food and drink. And when I am sick, he heals me. He who will kill me and then bring me to life, and who I hope will forgive me my sins on the day of judgment. Lord, grant me judgment, and let me reach the righteousness, and give me a tongue of good report amongst posterity, and make me of the heirs of the paradise of pleasure, and pardon my father. Verily he is of those who err, and disgrace me not on the day when they are raised up again, the day when wealth shall not profit our sons, but only he who comes to Allah with a sound heart. And paradise shall be brought near to the pious, and hell shall be brought to those who go astray, and it shall be said to them, where is what ye used to worship besides Allah? Can they help you or get help themselves? And they shall fall headlong into it, they and those who have gone astray, and the host of Iblis altogether. And they shall say, while they quarrel therein, by Allah, we were surely in an obvious error, and we made you equal to the Lord of the worlds, but it was only sinners who led us astray. But we have no intercessor and no warm friend, but had we a turn, we would be of the believers. Verily, and that is a sign, but most of them will never be believers. And verily thy Lord, he is the mighty and merciful. And the people of Noah said the apostles were liars, when their brother Noah said to them, will ye not fear? Verily I am a faithful apostle to you, then fear Allah and obey me. I do not ask you for it any higher, my hire is only with the Lord of the worlds, so fear Allah and obey me. And they said, shall we believe in thee when the reprobates follow thee? He said, I did not know what they were doing, their account is only with my Lord. If ye but perceive, and I am not one to drive away the believers, I am only a plain warner. They said, verily, if thou desist not, O Noah, thou shalt surely be of those who are stoned. Said he, my Lord, verily my people call me a liar. Upon open between me and between them an opening, and save me and those of the believers who are with me. So we saved him and those with him in the laden ark. Barge. Not this thing you see in Sunday school drawings, to be clear about that. Well, shipping box, per se, maybe is a better way to say it. Then we drowned the rest, verily, and that is a sign, but most of them will never be believers. And verily thy Lord, he is mighty and merciful. And On called the apostles liars when their brother Hud said to them, will ye not fear? Verily I am to you a faithful apostle, then fear Allah and obey me. I do not ask you for it any higher, my hire is only with the Lord of the worlds. Do ye build on every height a landmark and sport, and take to works that haply ye may be immortal? And when ye assault like tyrants, but fear Allah and obey me, and fear him who has given you an extent of cattle and sons and gardens and springs. Verily I fear for you the torment of a mighty day. They said, it is the same to us if thou admonish, or art not of those who do admonish. And this is nothing but old folks' fictions, for we shall not be tormented. And they called him liar, but we destroyed them. Verily, and that is a sign, but most of them will never be believers. And verily thy Lord is mighty merciful. Thamud called the apostles liars when their brother Saleh. Okay. I don't know why he uses a Z for th, but he does. Said to them, do ye fear? Verily I am to you a faithful apostle, so fear Allah and obey me. I do not ask you for it any higher. My hire was only with the Lord of the worlds. Again, I think this, that part's 5 times, or part of that part is said 5 times in different so sort of in different contexts each time. Shall ye be left here in safety, with gardens and springs and cornfields and palms, the spathes whereof are fine, and ye hew out of the mountains houses skillfully, but fear Allah and obey me, and obey not the bidding of the extravagant, who do evil in the earth and do not act aright. They said, Thou art only of the infatuated, thou art but mortal like ourselves, so bring us a sign, if thou be of those who speak the truth. He said, This she-camel shall have her drink, and you your drink on a certain day, but touch her not with evil, or there will seize you the torment of a mighty day. But they hamstrung her, and on the morrow they repented, and the torment seized them. Verily, and that is a sign. But most of them will never be believers. But verily, thy Lord, he is the mighty, merciful. The people of Lot called the apostles liars, when their brother Lot said to them, Do ye not fear? Verily, I am to you a faithful apostle, so then fear Allah and obey me. I do not ask you for it any higher. My hire is only with the Lord of the worlds. Ye approach males of all the world, and leave what Allah your Lord has created for you of your wives. Nay, but ye are people who transgress. And has there ever since been a nation where all the men practice this stuff, and all the women and whatnot? Of course, we know here in America that your typical homosexuals had heterosexual sex, or will at some point, of course, consensually. They said, Surely if thou dost not desist, O Lot, thou shalt be of those who are expelled. Said he, Verily I am those who hate your deed. My Lord, save me and my people from what they do. And we saved him and his people altogether, except an old woman amongst those who lingered. Then we destroyed the others, and we rained down upon them a rain, and evil was the rain of those who were warned. Verily, and that is a sign, but most of them will never be believers. And verily, thy Lord, he is the mighty, merciful, compassionate. The fellows of the grove called the apostles liars. Shoaib said to them, Will ye not fear? Shoaib is how you're supposed to pronounce it. Will ye not fear? Verily I am to you a faithful apostle. Then fear Allah and obey me. I do not ask you for it any higher. My hire was only with the Lord of the worlds. Give good measure, and be not of those who diminish, and weigh with a fair balance, and do not cheat men of their goods, and waste not the land, despoiling it, and fear him who created you and the races of yore. Said they, Thou art only of the infatuated, and thou art only immortal like ourselves, and verily we think that thou art surely of the liars. So make a portion of the heaven to fall down upon us, if thou art of those who tell the truth. Said he, My Lord knows best what ye do. But they called him a liar, and the torment of the day of the shadow seized them. For it was the torment of a mighty day. Verily, and that is a sign. But most of them will never be believers. But verily, thy Lord, he is mighty, merciful. And verily, it is a revelation from the Lord of the worlds. The faithful Spirit came down with it upon thy heart, that thou shouldst be of those who warned in plain Arabic language. And verily, it is in the scriptures of yore. Have they not a sign and that the learned men of the children of Israel recognize it, and we sent it down to any barbarian, and he had read it to them, they would not have believed therein. Thus we made for it a way into the hearts of the sinners. They will not believe therein until they see the grievous woe, and it shall come to them suddenly, while they do not perceive. They will say, shall we be respited? What do they wish to hasten on our torment? What thinkest thou if we let them enjoy themselves for years, and there come to them what they are threatened, that will not avail, which they had to enjoy? But we do not destroy any city without its having warners as a reminder, for we are never unjust. The devils did not descend. The devils did not descend therewith. It is not fit work for them, nor are they able to do it. Verily, they are disposed from listening. Call not then with the law upon other gods, or thou wilt be of the tormented, but warn thy clansmen who are near of kin, and lower thy wing to those of the believers who follow thee. But if they rebel against thee, say, verily I am clear of what ye do, and rely thou upon the mighty merciful one, who sees thee when thou dost stand up, and thy posturing amongst those who adore. Verily he both hears and knows. Shall I inform you upon whom the devils descend? They descend upon every sinful liar, and impart what they have heard, but most of them are liars, and the poets do those follow who go astray. Though dost thou not see they wander distraught in every vale, and that they say that which they do not do, save those who believe and do right, and remember law much, and defend themselves after they are wronged? But those who do wrong shall know with what a turn they shall be turned. So, aside from the stylistic things that you're going to encounter in the Arabic term for poetry, for example, implies that there's something in there for style, something in there that doesn't have meaning, that's just, you don't find that in the Quran. That there's not a single letter or mark that doesn't add or subtract to the meaning that is there. Again, inflection and emphasis, because some of these Orientalists say, well, it's just really, the Quran's really beautiful poetry and all that, but people can't match the linguistic style. But there's a moderate stance when it comes to poetry. You got to be real about it. This is stuff you're trying to do, or stuff you're doing, but you remember God. Don't just wander astray and make up your own things. But as art, expressing art, art is acceptable with certain conditions and whatnot.